One of the most volatile situations you can find yourself in is being caught in the middle as a third party in some type of domestic dispute or child custody dispute. Very tricky, very volatile, and yet thousands of us find ourselves in that situation who work in schools, daycares, after school programs, or who volunteer at churches in the children's ministry. And that's exactly one of the scenarios that my team and I will do when we're working with churches, conducting very dynamic, realistic conflict de-escalation training seminars. And this past January 24th, 2024, my team and I were working and training with the church in Constantine, Michigan, and we had this scenario. Check out this 20-second scenario.
Coming here for the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, she told us not to let anybody pick him up with her.
She doesn't have the right to do that. Why would, I mean, this is just an after-school program. I'm just picking up my son. That's all I'm doing.
Yeah, and when he's dropped off here, he's our responsibility. So we're
Well, I'll just get him myself. Leo! Hey, Leo! Leo! Come on, buddy!
Leading up to the scenario station, the staff and volunteers were told a parent has dropped off a child for a youth event, a children's youth event, and they've told the staff and volunteers that the other parent cannot see the child. And so my instructor role player simulates being that other parent, shows up and wants to see his child. How do we handle this situation? Very volatile. This is basically a mama bear, papa bear being told he or she cannot see their cub, okay? But there are things that you can do. First of all, there's a lot of variables that are missing. For example, did the other parent even show court documents stating that there's a legal authorization, a court order stating that the other parent or other person cannot have any type of contact or custody or visitation or whatever with the child? Even if you do see paperwork, how far are you willing to go? Because keep in mind that there is no provision in court documents for a citizen's arrest or any type of legal authorization or coverage to protect you if you decide to go hands-on to physically prevent a parent from seeing their child. Now, the court papers I'm familiar with here in Michigan will simply state that so-and-so cannot see their child, no custody, no visitation, no whatever. And if there's a violation, then law enforcement, sheriff's deputies, or duly appointed court officers are expected and shall arrest this person, take them into custody. There's no provision or verbiage or paragraph that states anything about Joe Blow civilian. So be very, very careful, because the moment you choose to go hands-on, you have exponentially increased the risk to yourself for injury and civil liability to yourself and your church or the place that you work at. Your good intentions don't mean nothing. So be very, very careful, even if you see court paperwork. Now, back to this particular scenario, we saw two guys sitting at the table. Both of them got up to follow my instructor role player. Now, one of the things we talked about on how it could have played out differently is one person get up to follow my instructor role player to try to continue to talk to him, create a distraction, create a dialogue, create a connection to get him to slow down and stop his forward movement to try to grab his child. His partner, get up, call 911 immediately. Folks, this is a 911 issue, very volatile, very dangerous, and especially if you have seen legal documentation that this person is not supposed to see or have custody of the child, you are witnesses to a crime. But again, there's no provisions that covers you in case you want to go hands-on or think you should be going hands-on. Call 911, get them coming. If your partner is able to create a dialogue and de-escalate the situation and get them to leave on their own without the child, so be it. You can always disregard the cops when they come rolling in, but at least get them coming. It's better to have them 30 seconds away than 3 minutes away. No easy answers. But that is just one possible way this particular scenario, as you saw, evolved. That's one possible way that the situation could have played out. But just keep in mind, be very, very careful about deciding to go hands-on. Make sure you're able to articulate someone was in imminent danger of bodily harm or death before you decide to do that, because you may be exposing yourself to an incredible amount of civil liability and physical risk of injury, and civil liability, financial liability to your church or your place of business. See you on the next video.